Hey, what's up, everybody? Gonna do a classic rock reaction, man. This is an album reaction, and it's Jethro Tull, an album called A Passion Play. I believe it to be a concept album, and it's kind of broken up in parts, but we'll check it all out. I believe it's part one and part two combined here, based on what I'm looking at the link. So let's hit this up, man. It's been a while since I've done any Jethro Tull. If I ever did another Led Zeppelin deep dive into any band, any act, any artist, Jethro Tull is certainly first up, man. So, Jethro Tull, A Passion Play album reaction. Let's get it. Cheers. I like it already. You know this is going to be a mental exercise, right? The musicianship and the music itself can tell a story, can it? They got this very uplifting, feel-good vibe to their musicianship alone.
Still see me even here. The silver cord lies on the ground, and so I'm dead. The young men say head over the hill, not a wish away. My friends as one all stand aligned. Although their taxes came too late, there was a rush along the Fulham Road. There was a hush in the Passion Play. Such a sense of glowing in the aftermath, ripe with rich attainments, all imagined, sad misdeeds in disarray. The sore thumb screams aloud, echoing out of the Passion Play.
Does that mean all of the bad secrets are coming out after his death?
Choruses come crowding in a different key. Melodies decaying in sweet dissonance. There was a rush along the Fulham Road into the ever-Passion Play.
The Fulham Road, that being the passage towards heaven where everyone swears that they've seen God when they come back. Is that what? I gotta shut up and pay attention. That wasn't the sexy sax. Was that a clarinet?
Who comes here to wish me well? A sweetly scented angel fell. She laid her head upon my disbelief and bathed me with her ever smile. And with a howl across the sand, I go escorted by a band of gentlemen in leather bound. No one but someone to be found. along the icy waste, their faces smiling in the gloom. Roll up, roll down, feeling unwound, step into the viewing room. The cameras were all around, we've got you taped, you're in the play. Here's your ID, ideal for identifying one and all. Invest your life in the memory bank, ours the interest, and we thank you. The ice cream lady went across to see you in the passion play.
Do you think we're going to be that busy in the afterlife? Feels like he's trading one rat race of life for another. is in a place now where he's everything is coming to him, everything is unfolding, his past life, how it's being tied into his now afterlife. That's what I'm kind of, I think that I'm catching, or maybe I'm totally missing it now. It's like all the dots are connecting and
sadness. And your little sister's immaculate virginity went away on the bony shoulder of a young horse named George, who stole surreptitiously into her geography revision. The examining body examined her body. Actor of the low IQ, let's hear your view. Peek at the lines upon your sleeve since your memory won't do. Tell me how the baby's graded, why the ladies faded, why the old dogs howl with madness. All of this and some of that's the only way to skin the cat. And now you've lost a skin or two. Well, you're for us and we for you. The dressing room is right behind. We thought you taped her in the play. How does it feel to be in the play? How does it feel to play the play? How does it feel to be the play? Man of passion, rise again. We won't cross you out. For we do love you like a son, of that there's no doubt. Tell us, is it you or he? For our good cheer? Or are we here for the glory, for the story, for the gory satisfaction of telling you how absolutely awful you really are?
this is a reflection of his life in the form of a play, in the form of a right, okay. How he was, the good, the bad, and the ugly of his life. Okay. visualizing he's either sitting in front of the heavenly hosts being judged, or he's in another place being judged.
Along the Fulham Road, there was a hush in the Passion Play.
His spectacles.
Owl loved to rest quietly whilst no one was watching. Sitting on a fence one day, he was surprised when suddenly a kangaroo ran close by. Now, this may not seem strange, but when Owl overheard Kangaroo whisper to no one in particular, "The hare has lost his spectacles," well, he began to wonder. Presently, the moon appeared from behind a cloud, and there, lying on the grass, was Hare. In the stream that flowed by the grass, a newt. And sitting astride a twig of a bush, a bee. Ostensibly motionless, the hare was trembling with excitement, for without his spectacles he appeared completely helpless. Where were his spectacles? Could someone have stolen them? Had he mislaid them? What was he to do? B wanted to help, and thinking he had the answer, began, "You probably ate them, thinking they were a carrot." "No," interrupted Owl, who was wise. "I have good eyesight, insight, and foresight. How could an intelligent hare make such a silly mistake?" But all the time, Owl had been sitting on the fence, scowling. A kangaroo were upping mad at this sort of talk. She thought herself a far superior in intelligence to the others, as she was their leader, their guru. She had the answer. "Hare, you must go in search of the optician." But then she realized that Hare were completely helpless without his spectacles, and so Kangaroo loudly proclaimed, "I can't send Hare in search of anything." You kangaroo, you can, shouted Newt. You can send him with Owl. Owl had gone to sleep. And Newt knew too much to be stopped by so small a problem. You can take him in your pouch. But alas, Hare was much too big to fit into Kangaroo's pouch. All this time it had been quite plain to Hare that the others knew nothing about spectacles. And as for all their tempting ideas, well, Hare didn't care. He lost spectacles for his own affair. And after all, Hare did have a spare. A pair. A pair.
This is a story of Winnie the Pooh without Winnie the Pooh in it.
We sleep by the ever-bright hole in the door, eat in the corner, talk to the floor, cheating the spiders who come to say please. Politely they bend at the knees. Well, I'll go to the foot of our stairs. Old gentlemen talk of when they were young, of ladies lost, of erring sons. Lace-covered dandies revel with friends, pure as the truth, tied at both ends. Well, I'll go to the foot of our stairs. Scented cathedral, spire pointed down. We pray for souls in Kentish Town. A delicate hush, the gods floating by, wishing us well, pie in the sky. God of ages, Lord of time, minus the right to be wrong. Well, I'll go to the foot of our stairs. Jack Rabbit messed up, spawn a new breed of love-hungry pilgrims, no bodies to feed. Show me a good man and I'll show you the door. The last hymn is sung and the devil cries more. off leaving, and that being done, I've put in a request to take up my turn in that forsaken paradise that calls itself hell, where no one has nothing and nothing is well-meaning fool. Pick up thy bed and rise up from your gloom, smiling. Give me your hate and do as the loving heathen do.
So there's judgment both above and below. Judgment and scrutiny.
Colors I've none, dark or light, red, white or blue. Cold as my touch, freezing. Summoned by name, I am the overseer of you. Given this command to watch over our miserable sphere, fallen from grace, called on to bring sun or rain, occasional corn from my oversight grew.
He's being confronted by
I with
Lucifer.
mine angels from a far better place, offering services for the saving of face. And you hear you may as well admire all whom living has retired from the benign reconciliation. Legends were born surrounding mysterious lights seen in the sky flashing. I just lit the back and then took my leave in the blink of an eye. Passionate play, join round the maple and dance. Primitive right, wrongly summoned by name, I am the overseer of you. Flee the icy Lucifer, oh, he's an awful fellow. What a mistake I didn't take
musicianship is outstanding. The sequencing.
Pick me up at 1:30. There's not a moment to lose. That is the train on which I came. On the platform are my old shoes. Station master rings his bell. Whistles blow and flags wave. A little of what you fancy does you good, or so it should. I thank everybody for making me welcome. Might stay, but my wings have just dropped off. Son of kings, make the ever-dying sign. Cross your fingers in the sky for those about to be. There am I, waiting along the sand. Cast your sweet spell upon the land and sea. Take your hand from off the chain, loose a wish to still the rain, the storm about to be. Here am I, voyager into life, tougher the swords that tread the knife's edge. Break the circle, stretch the line, call upon the devil, bring the gods on fire in the conflict to rebel. The passengers upon the ferry crossing, waiting to be born. Renew the pledge of life's long song, rise to the rally horn. Animals queuing at the gates that stand upon the shore. Breathe the ever-burning fire, the gods we ever adore.
What is Magus Perde?
to breathe the breath of pain of the living bee. Here am I, robe is torn away from the dark into ever day.
He's being given a chance by Jesus, a chance for redemption.
There was a rush along the Fulham Road into the ever-passion play.
The Fulham Road, there it is again. So his second trip along the Fulham Road is going to be more of a joyous, jubilant one this time around. Stop. Okay. Yo, damn, man. What a mental exercise that was. I didn't catch half of that. I'm gonna have to listen to this shit again. That was wild. You know what's cool about, first off, isn't it the greatest thing, getting a concept album by Jethro Tull? The way these guys can weave in the story with their musicianship. These guys, above and beyond anyone else, yes, even the Who, above and beyond anyone else, were made to do concept albums. The musicianship, the interweaving of the musicianship with the story being told, the way Ian Anderson sings, the flute, the presence of the flute, and all of these different things, it just takes you, doesn't it? I mean, if I'm comparing Jethro Tull concept works with the Who's concept works, the Who has I don't know, it's a different feel. You know what I mean? And they're both fantastic, they're both great, they're both really, really exceptional. But in the end, if I was to be forced to pick which particular band to get, let's say, a string of concept albums from, it would be Jethro Tull. Jethro Tull above everybody else where a concept album is concerned. If I only had to choose one, hey, one of these particular acts, bands, or whatever is going to give you 10 concept albums. Who is going to be that band that you choose? Jethro Tull. Absolutely. Even though I didn't catch half of this shit, it's great because you can go back and you can listen again and again and take it in. It's fantastic, man. Really, really good stuff. Man, let me tell you, the kind of music that existed back in the day, you old cats, man, you had it so good, you have no idea how good you had it. With artists like this, creating this kind of works, man, what a great divide we live in. What the hell is wrong with these kids producing music today? It's like they've never read a book, you know? And from books, from your stories of your youth, from all of those things, you would get material to create some great shit like this, you know? I can't be too hard on them. It's the generation that we're living in, but damn, come on. There's a difference between a 20-year-old creating music today and a 20-year-old creating music back in the day. I mean, where did Jimmy Page get the wherewithal and Robert Plant to write Stairway to Heaven in their 20s? You know what I'm talking about? Yo, man, shit like this, what Jethro Tull has just given us, I can't see a 20-year-old producing something like this in these times. It's a different breed. It's a different class of artist, and I don't want to ring too hard down on it, but what I'm trying to say is that you old cats, you had it good. If there's one thing I'm envious about, is that what you guys enjoyed back in the day during the creative renaissance. Man, and I'm telling you, if I had a time machine and I could repeat, this is the time period that I want to grow up in. Let me tell you. And be consciously aware of what was going on. You know, there are some who were consciously aware of what was going on. I believe that Ian Anderson was one of those guys. One of those people who said, yo, man, this is the time of creativity. It's bursting forth and I'm a part of it. I'm going to put in my lot and I'm just going to go hard with this shit, man, because the road is being paved and I see the way in front of me. I'm going to go. There's a couple of artists who had that vision. Ian Anderson is one of those. Jimmy Page is one of those, right? Yeah, man. And you know, talking about the subject matter, about the afterlife and all of that sort of thing, I remember when I was a kid growing up, going to church and Sunday school and everything like that, there's a couple of things that stuck with me. Most of the time I wasn't listening, but the odd times that I was listening, I picked up some key things. One thing that I picked up was what heaven will be like. And the one thing that really stuck with me is that heaven will be a place of learning. And this guy going through all of what he was being shown, unfolding all of the answers to his life, the answers to life in general, and all of these things will be made known to you. So that stuck with me from a very, very young age. Maybe I was 12 or whatever it is, but I remember someone saying or learning that heaven will definitely be a place of learning, a place of edification, a place of stimulating one's mental, intellectual minds. So that is something to look forward to, because I really, really love learning. And well, that's why I'm doing this channel. This is why I do this channel the way I do it. The research, the background, the asking you guys a billion questions. You're probably sick of me asking you all kinds of questions. But, you know, that's basically the motivation for the channel, right? It's just getting behind the music, getting into it, getting in and around it. You know what I'm saying? Shit's intriguing, man. I can talk about it all the time, but let me not. Let's do this. Real quick, a little background on the Passion Play, and then I want to hit up and see what the fan base has to say about this. Go to this link. So, a Passion Play. A Passion Play is the sixth studio album by British progressive rock band Jethro Tull, released in July of '73 in both the UK and US. Following the same style as the band's previous album, Thick as a Brick in '72, A Passion Play is a concept album comprising individual songs arranged into a single continuous piece of music, which was split into two parts across the original vinyl release's two sides. The album's concept follows the spiritual journey of a recently deceased man, Ronnie Pilgrim is his name, in the afterlife, exploring themes of morality, religion, and good and evil. The album's accompanying tour was considered the high watermark of Jethro Tull's elaborate stage productions, involving a full performance of the album accompanied by physical props, sketches, and projected video. Oh my gosh, man, would I ever love to have been there to see that shit live? Yo. A Passion Play was negatively received by critics upon its initial release. No surprise there. However, the album was a commercial success, becoming Jethro Tull's second #1 album in the US. Despite these dumbass critics, do you know why this was a commercial success? Speaking strictly from the point of view of a fan, It's because the musicianship was fantastic. That interweaving fabric that I'm talking about, with the story being told, the way Ian Anderson is projecting, all of these things combined makes it a really fantastic gripping. Even if you don't understand what the hell overall he's singing about, don't matter, because everything else that's accompanying it, that interweaving fabric of great musicianship and everything else, puts it over the top as being successful. These dumbass critics, man, I got no time for you. So let's skip reception, because there's a few people that I don't even want to hear from, and I know that they're going to be in the reception, so forget these critics. Let's go to legacy. Jethro Tull's business manager, Terry Ellis, announced in Melody Maker that the band would retire from live performances in response to negative reviews of the album and concerts. Wow. Critics had power back in the day, you know, especially Rolling Stone. Look at how they were trying to hinder Led Zeppelin, I guess is a good way to put it. This was just a publicity stunt, though, of which the band had no knowledge. Anderson felt it made them look petulant and brought them to the wrong sort of publicity. A 3-star retrospective review by Bruce, editor of AllMusic, was gentle in its judgment, saying that the music puts it over successfully. Yes, despite not understanding the full story. Yeah, I just said that, man. A dazzling mix of old English folk and classical material, reshaped in eclectic rock terms. Yeah, Anderson's really got an incredible, vast knowledge of the whole Gaelic folklore, doesn't he? Puts it all in here. The band is at its peak form, sustaining the tension and anticipation of this album-length piece across 45 minutes, although the music runs out of inspiration about 5 minutes before it actually ends. Does it? No, it doesn't. Pop Matters ranked A Passion Play the 17th best progressive rock album of all time. Okay, wow. That's a high ranking. The 17th best progressive rock album of all time? And you consider how many progressive rock albums are out there, that's really, really good rankings, man. Paul Stump, in his History of Progressive Rock, said that the writing is militantly episodic, with some beautiful moments, but an overemphasis on novelty and an overall incoherent sequence of themes that makes the album bemusing and disorienting rather than engaging to the listener. You are full of shit. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. I was engaged the whole damn time. Even though I didn't understand a lot of what was going on, I could follow in some parts. Okay, I was lost in a few other parts, but it was definitely engaging. Why are critics in the legacy section, man? I was reading the legacy section to avoid these fools. Alright. Some members of the band, in retrospect, expressed distaste for the album, including Anderson, saying that I've always thought that A Passion Play suffered more than any other album I've ever made from being over-arranged and overproduced and overcooked, and that Jethro Tull fans, who call the album their favorite album of all time, should of course remain in the establishment for the criminally insane, in which they probably already reside. I'm sure Jethro Tull fans would really smirk and laugh at this. It's just Ian being Ian. Barr has said that he believes that the album exists in the bottom third of Jethro Tull albums. Interesting. What these guys are really saying is that the process of creating this album, making this album, was probably not as enjoyable, or whatever the case is. Don't care. The end result is the same for me. I really dig it. And I dig it enough to go back and listen to it over and over again until I get most of what he's trying to convey. I like it that much. All right. Yeah, enough reading. I don't want to deal with these damn critics. Let's go to what the fans are saying. See, that's the real barometer for anything. Absolutely one of the greatest bands ever. Better than Hall of Fame rubbish. Oh, don't get me started on the Hall of Fame. What a masterpiece. 64 years old and still listening with excitement. Definitely the 70s, best decade of music. I long for those times. You and me both, brother. That's exactly what I was just saying. You know, you old cats got it so good, man. Had it so good back in the day. Yeah, lots of thumbs up on that sentiment. This never gets old. At 65 years old, I still am blown away by this album. Talk about being ahead of your time. This piece is classic and will always be. Passion Play was more abstract and complicated and not as well received as Thick as a Brick, which was pure driving genius from start to finish. But the Passion Play concert was by far the ultimate Tull experience. I'm thankful I lived these moments. Again. Yeah, you old cats. I'm telling you, man. You had it good. This is amazing how this Passion Play album has been capable to overpass Thick as a Brick in quality of music, art, smartness, and complexity. This is the best album in progressive rock history. It's impossible to beat. Thanks Jethro Tull for giving us these two jewels, Thick as a Brick and Passion Play. Lots of thumbs up on that one and lots of replies. Okay. Why did the critics of that time come down on Jethro Tull about this album? This is nothing but pure genius. I don't even want to go into that because it's going to be a really incredible rant. I feel when I'm on the brink of a serious rant, so I'm just going to leave that alone. I think this album is highly underrated. I don't think it tops Thick as a Brick, but it's definitely one of the Jethro Tull's best albums that I love listening to. Oh man, this guy's got way too much to say. 2 paragraphs, yeah, let's skip that one. I never saw them live, but have a fond memory of running home with this album and spending the day with headphones, mesmerized. That would be cool. That would be me. That would totally be me. I could never understand why it was so poorly received at the time. We're talking critics, not fans here. I bought it when it first came out and thought it was a classic. Nearly 50 years later, I still do. Lots of thumbs up, lots of replies. All the old familiar choruses come crowding in a different key, melodies decaying in sweet dissonance. Ian sounds like he is trying to warn us at the outset. This is not your stock standard rock album. What a brilliant piece of work. Yeah, man. Let's read one more. Really love the end. Flee the icy Lucifer. Oh, he's an awful fellow. Yeah, and this is the end part that the critic is saying that lost its savor or whatever his dumbass statement was. And here's a fan saying, really love the end. Has such suspenseful sound to it. Would make a great soundtrack for a horror movie. Just hit 60 and have been a fan since I was 17. My guess is about 10 to 20 live concerts. Lucky to live where 3 states are within driving distance. Mr. Anderson, you're a genius. Thank you for so many lovely years of music. There you go. And that is what the fans are saying. The people who made this album, what is it? The 17th greatest progressive rock album of all time? Yo, man. To hell with critics, I'm telling you. I'm still, after 3 years, still trying to justify your value. How the hell you guys ever became critics, man? Anyway, no ranting. Just praise for this fantastic piece of work. This is a great piece of work. And it's one of those kind of pieces of work where you've got to go back and you've got to listen to it again and again, right? How many times did you go back and listen to Tommy or Quadrophenia? You know what I'm talking about? You had to get it all at some point in time, but it came to you in bits and pieces, and a number of continuous listens, probably over, I would say, half your damn adult life, right? So it's the same with a concept album like this. And again, Jethro Tull is my absolute number one pick to give me 10 concept albums. Let me close with this question. If you are a fan and you had a choice of choosing an artist who would give you 10 concept albums, which artist would that be? That's my question. Answer that for me. Tell me which artist and tell me why. I've already told you why. It's Jethro Tull for me. There's no second place. They definitely are the kings of the concept album for me if I had a choice. Who would you choose to give you those 10 concept albums? Let me know. That would be a really, really cool mental exercise on its own. Flesh it out for me too. Give me a couple of reasons or whatever it is. Don't write me a damn novel. Maybe one decent paragraph, two at the most, but tell me why, who, and why. That would be really, really interesting to check out. All right, y'all. I am done, man. So thanks very much for joining me. Hope you like this. I'm going to be moving on towards John Paul Jones. I've been really busy in the last couple of days with work, and it's really put a wrench into my reactions and put me about a week behind. But I'm going to get back onto it with John Paul Jones and do some catching up. Of course, I'm not going to be able to hit up all of the links and recommendations sent to me, but I'll try and squeeze as much in as I can between now and the end of the month. And then, of course, I'm going to continue with my Led Zeppelin journey, checking out solo stuff from the group, some interviews, some maybe bootleg concerts, things of that sort. So yes, the Led Zeppelin factor will still be a factor on the channel, and I'll still continue with it. Can you believe after all of this time, people are still pestering me about not doing enough Led Zeppelin reactions? It's unbelievable. But anyway, yes, so John Paul Jones month, I'm going to continue with that. And I'm not sure what my next installment for John Paul Jones is, but I'll probably say offhand, I'll squeeze about 3 more John Paul Jones reactions in before the end of the month, and then I'll just continue afterwards. All right, have a good one. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.